right, folks, we have some very big news to discuss. This news is not only going to affect the precious metals markets for good, period, but the global economy, period, as well. And it's starting with China. Check this out. China becomes the world's gold vault. 90% of nations flock to Beijing as US dollar era fades. Foreign central banks rush to store gold in China's new system, marking the largest power shift in global financial history as dollar dominance crumbles. This is game changing. We knew this was going to happen. We knew what the BRICS nations were up to, right? We knew they were creating the grain exchange. We knew that they were creating this new digital currency. We knew about the unit. We knew about all of this. But now it's actually implemented. And now we're going to start to see the effects of that as we're seeing this massive power shift from west to east. You and I living in the west are going to be the ones on the short end of the stick. This is massive. It does mean one thing, though. If the dollar's dominance fades, then gold and silver is our only hope. Well, luckily, we knew this was going to come. Unfortunately, our friends and family didn't, so they are not set up for success, if you want to put it that bluntly. Anyways, first and foremost, thank you for tuning into your daily silver news. My name is Silver Slayer, and if you want the latest information brought to you on a daily basis of what's happening in the world of precious metals wrapped up in a shiny YouTube video for you, then click subscribe, click the bell. If you want to purchase some shiny stuff, hit us up. info@milesfranklin.com. Send that email. info@milesfranklin.com. Let them know I sent you. Andy Scheckman's the CEO, so you know we're legit. Andy Scheckman's actually the one that's been mentioning this, screaming this before anyone else. Support people like us. Buy from Andy and I, right? Don't buy from these big corporations. Buy from the people that have been putting in all of this work and effort to spread the word to help people. Anyways, let's dive into this crazy news. This is from Bloomberg, posted on September 23rd, which is today. China courts foreign gold reserves to boost global clout. I like how they use the word clout, but that's basically what it is, right? And that's actually, it's funny they use that word because it's such like a slur, but kind of immature way, but it's not, because the US dollar is only as strong as people think it is. So if people start to think the dollar's not strong, it's literally not strong. So now if you have China pushing this power play, or the BRICS, countries in the BRICS, then you could see how the clout actually does matter. People starting to say, well, I don't want the Western, I don't want the Americans' greedy little fingers in my pockets anymore. Or especially with the amount of sanctions we're doing with these other countries. Of course, they're going to want to go that route. Think about the Belt Road Initiative. This stuff is getting crazy, folks. Russia's panda bonds and the new Eurasian bargain. Russia has turned to China's panda bond market for its financial lifeline, giving Beijing a powerful new lever in Eurasian affairs. Panda bonds, denominated in yuan, fund Russian energy pipelines and infrastructure. Projects now destined for China, not Europe. For Moscow, the imperative is clear. Western sanctions, like I was just mentioning, I told you, have choked off access to dollars and euros, and the once reliable market for cheap Russian energy in Europe now looks irrevocably broken. Beijing, meanwhile, gets what it craves: vast flows of discounted Russian oil and gas to power its industrial ascent. Energy is the universal denominator of global power. Its availability determines economic growth, technological progress, and national security. As cheap Russian gas vanishes from European grids, flows reroute to China, cementing an axis that could upend the world's monetary and geoeconomic balance. I hope you'll understand how big of a deal this is. Andy Scheckman would be able to break it down in a way that I guess explains the severity of this, and that's why I'm definitely going to mention this to Andy or get his thoughts on it when when we reconnect on this channel, because this is massive. This is going to change the landscape. Period, folks. Gold, the new anchor amid de-dollarization. But China's ambitions reach far beyond commodity supply chains. The new financial architecture is built on gold, hard, tangible, and immune to sanctions. The Shanghai Gold Exchange has become the epicenter of this revolution, offering contracts not just for future speculation, but for direct physical delivery, increasingly in yuan rather than dollars. And why? And this is why, if you want to, if you see the COMEX, you don't have to import gold or silver to get the paper contract, but you could still ask for delivery in gold or silver, physical. You could turn into physical. And that's what a lot of people did, like the Hunt brothers bought up all the contracts in the COMEX, turned it into physical. That exposes the facade. David Bateman did that, right? He bought $1 billion, turned it into physical. But China, if you want those paper contracts, you have to actually import the gold or silver yourself. So it actually is a one-to-one. So people who are, taking the physical on the Shanghai Gold Exchange, the gold is actually there, because to actually get that, you have to put it in. We don't have to put ours in, and that's how they can make all of these, all this fake paper. That's how they can oversaturate the market to suppress the price, Western price suppression. That's the difference between the Shanghai Gold Exchange and like the COMEX. China's central bank, the People's Bank of China, has been on a gold buying spree for 10 consecutive months, swelling reserves to record levels. But Beijing's quiet masterstroke is now coming into full view. It is not simply stockpiling precious metals, it is inviting foreign central banks to park their national gold reserves inside China itself. Bloomberg reports that the PBOC is actively courting friendly states, urging them to buy bullion and store it in domestic vaults managed by the Shanghai Gold Exchange. At least one Southeast Asian nation has reportedly shown interest, and more are expected to follow. And I'm sure the countries in the BRICS, which is Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, and the many more, they're all going to follow suit. Why wouldn't they? I don't blame them. China's custodianship gambit, death blow to US dollar supremacy. The implications are seismic. In becoming custodian of foreign sovereign gold, China is positioning itself as the de facto world gatekeeper for real asset reserves. This pursuit could fundamentally erode US dollar dominance in global finance, redirecting trust and transaction flows towards Beijing and the yuan. Right? Think about this. We don't determine a country's wealth on how many dollars they can print off. It's how much gold they have. And if China's going to build this system that all of these countries trust to park their real money in, I don't even have to put air quotes, real money in, which is the gold, that is going to be a massive power shift. And you and I will benefit greatly, because they could even set a price, right? They could even, do something along those lines, if even if they did. But you and I will be safe. But your friends, your family, your neighbor, they won't. The US dollar being the world's reserve currency is why the United States is number one. But we are seeing a massive power shift, and it's going to get ugly. How ugly, I don't know. But this stuff is real. You don't have to put on a tinfoil hat anymore. Look at the news. And a lot of people would rather not know this stuff, but it's still happening, whether you want to believe it or not, or if you want to kick and scream or whatever. It's happening. And the only thing you can do is protect yourself with precious metals, right? You can kick, scream, whine, cry, whatever. Okay, do that. But as long as you're being proactive instead of reactive, proactive meaning invest, protect yourself with precious metals, at least you'll be safe on that end, right? So This is a bold gambit. Should other central banks follow suit, the liquidity and pricing power of the Shanghai Gold Exchange could soon rival or even eclipse New York and London, meaning the COMEX and the LBMA. Thanks to new physical settlement mechanisms and international gold contracts, new physical settlements. That's important as well. China is rewiring the global bullion trade and by extension the rules for reserve currency status itself. BRICS, building a hard asset block. The expanding BRICS framework, driven by Russia's reliance on panda bonds and the yuan, and by China's aggressive gold vaulting and diplomatic push, offers sovereign by a compelling alternative to U.S.-led system, mutual defense pacts among Gulf countries, tighter energy trade loops eastward, and expanding Belt Road in projects all reinforce the pivot towards a gold-backed multipolar order, which I was basically just saying. Central banks in key emerging markets are increasingly dumping U.S. treasuries, investing in gold, and leveraging new Shanghai Gold Exchange services. India, for instance, recently slashed its treasury holdings while boosting gold reserves by almost 40 tons. This pivot is deliberate, reducing vulnerability to U.S. asset seizure while embracing non-dollar alternatives for cross-border settlement. Wow. The weakening demand for treasuries is more than symbolic. It threatens one of the last pillars of Western monetary power. As Beijing's pitch for gold custodianship resonates, the appeal of treasuries declines, with central banks quietly shifting portfolios in favor of tangible value. Market data from Trading Economics shows China's gold reserves surging in 2025, reaching nearly $254 billion in August. The direction is clear: a shrinking U.S. fear, a rising gold yuan axis, and new competitive pressures for American borrowing. The road ahead, Shanghai's golden era. The end of dollar hegemony is no longer some distant possibility. With the Shanghai Gold Exchange internationalization, multinational energy corridors, and expanding gold vaults now in Hong Kong, Saudi Arabia, which Saudi Arabia has bought 932,000 contracts of the SLV on the COMEX, and soon other strategic locations. China is both the architect and custodian of the new rules. Central banks are taking note, parking their gold in Chinese vaults and aligning with new Eurasian gold corridor energy powers and China ascent. Gold anchors its monetary sovereignty and treasuries face an uncertain future. It is unfolding chess match. Gold has become the quiet but decisive piece, one that is putting the world's monetary order and American privilege in check. Wow. I wish I could say that this is all theoretical, that they might do this, but the fact that it's actually happening is very damning. So protect yourself, folks. There is no solution, but there is an alternative option, and that is precious metals. Wow. This is big news, folks. Make sure to like this video, leave a comment, share it, anything you can to help this news get out, because people need to know what's going on, right? Anyways, I'm gonna wrap this video up here. Yeah, this is crazy. I want to hear Andy's take on this as well. Anyways, thanks for tuning in. This is Silver Slayer. I'll see you guys later today or tomorrow. Peace. From now on, every single month on the 31st, you have a chance to win silver, a continuous silver giveaway. Well, if you become a member of the Secret Silver Society on my Patreon, you have that opportunity. So every single month, you have something exciting to look forward to, which would be winning silver. On top of that, you'll have access to a live chat room with other silver stackers where you can post pictures and chat, just hang out with everyone, and have early access to my videos along with supporting me. If this is something you'd like to do, then come join my Patreon. It's patreon.com/silverslayer. Upon joining, you'll be given a monthly raffle ticket and instant access to that chat room. Go introduce yourself. Everyone is super nice, and it's more personal and intimate than a YouTube comment section. Folks, I'm so excited to announce that I've partnered with American medical experts whose purpose is helping veterans get the medical benefits that they truly deserve. Over 17 million veterans aren't receiving their full benefits, and if this is you or someone you know, then act now. American medical experts are offering free consultations through our med team to see how we can help. The med team offers board-certified doctors who have experience working with the VA, comprehensive medical evidence for services like mental health as well. Some of these include your Nexus letter, your DBQs, your TDIUs, your AAs, and more. I want to personally thank American medical experts for helping veterans, but also giving me an opportunity to help veterans as well. Click the link in the description or the pinned comment to get a free consultation through our med team. Thank you so much for listening, and God bless.